Hey, good evening, Sojo Investments, Freddie, Takesha, and team. Let's walk you through a couple of things. Even when I log into a site generically, I always have my admin panel pop up, for something that we built. But anyway, let's refresh some of this, and I'll walk you through a couple of things. And First off, we are Google certified platform, so your hosting and your licensing are included in your package. She's asking me for a contractor agreement. My contracts are built into the PayPal agreement, and the stipulations are there. Typically, a site build out, the cost is sometimes more than what most people can handle, and we'll usually take a portion of it up front, and then we'll have payments over. But the payments also include the licensing and the support and maintenance of the plugins, the site, and then the hosting is included in that. That way you don't pay extra for anything. We just have it all rolled in, right? So that's what that is for. You can call us on support. I can always train someone on how to use a back-end tool for better management. And I believe we're well at that point. I've done that with several other groups that do bookings, tickets, different things like that. That we'll go and train a champion in there, and we don't have too much of a miss. Our support system is you got to notify us of a problem, right? But we probably can go to a ticket and maybe clear some of that up. All of the text content that she had asked to get changed or misspellings, there was one word misspelled on a responsitory email. That was corrected the day she and I talked. I had corrected the letters in the white boxes. My team had corrected the letters or the words in the purple or blue, I think that is, boxes. So here's an example, guys. This is the tenant login. I'm actually doing this as demonstration purposes, but you got to be logged in as a tenant. Let's go hourly and test the math. Let's make sure the system's doing the math well. Let's just pick a day next week that seems to be available there. If I go to 10, that's 3 hours. I can auto-populate myself because we activate that feature. So there it is. If they're logged into the system, because I'm doing this as a demonstration on tenant, if they're logged into the system, it will ask for a suite number, okay, and you kind of can't make that up. So I'm doing it through my mode, so I don't have to fake a suite number. You see the box that says cleaning fee required, $50. Well, that's going to be cleaning fee required if food and drink service provided, right? So then if they are providing that, then they have to click it. Otherwise, they'll do this. Okay. So in this instance, it's still defaulted to required cleaning fee no matter who's booking it, but we're in the process of changing that coding for you. So it wouldn't take it, but if I click the box, okay, right there, and I send, now it takes me to my summary page with pricing and payment. So think about this for a moment. It's $75 an hour. We did 3 hours, right? Plus a $50 fee. So that's dead on. Working beautifully. So then I click PayPal. Now I want to show you on the back end tool. If I refresh this page, let's just say I logged in. It's spinning. So you can see my Joe Aguilar test, right? My email, couple things, 275, it's in pending status. The reason why it's in pending status is because this has not been paid yet. So if I click PayPal, right, and we can change that button and call it payment. It's going to take them to PayPal regardless, because that's just the way it's set up. I can log in if I have an account, or I can click pay with debit or credit card. You see the little spin with the lock, it's secured payment. So I can take anything, Discover, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, any form that's debit or credit or combination. Once they do that and you hit pay now, had I done that, this would do that little spin again in the middle, excuse me, and that spin would give them a receipt and show payment was completed. Notice it's on the same tab, so it's built in within the API frame of your site. So then when the payment's done, it takes them back to the page with a congratulations, you are confirmed. then what we would see here, that would change to pending. It would never actually come in as pending. It would come in as approved. And then this status here on payment status would actually not be marked as unknown because it's not waiting, won't be in progress, won't be partially paid. It'll just say completed. Now, if you're going to cancel something and issue a refund, you can manually mark it, but the system will also recognize that, because when you refund through PayPal, PayPal is actually notifying the system that that has taken place. So it was working fine. When I got the urgent call about all these approved bookings that didn't have payment or didn't know if it had payment, actually it was working right, notifying you of all these pendings. When I went and changed them all to approved, because of the request, that really wasn't the thing. It was just simply notifying you that the payment was still not made. How they got on was me forcing an approved booking. That's how they got their confirmed reservation. We don't want to do that. The original plan from Freddie was, hey, we don't want them to get the booking unless they pay. Right? We want the money up front. And really it's defaulted to that. So it was acting properly. If I go over here to the non-tenant and I do hourly, let's just kind of do the same thing, play devil's advocate here. Let's do another 3 hours. So now the pricing's different. And because this is autofill, which is great on a mobile device, right? You don't want people to have to type everything. If they've ever been to your site or logged in before, then it'll pick them up. Oh, I got to click my cleaning fee, which that's going to be food or no food. So there's my summary. My booking number is 59. There it is. If I hit PayPal, it'll do the PayPal thing. But let's just go back and confirm on the dashboard of registrations. And it's really the back dashboard. There we go. There we go. It's thinking right there. It refreshed the page. There it is, Joe Aguilar test. And look at there, it's $500. My question in this case, since it was not $150 an hour, I did 3 hours plus a $50 fee. It's dead on. See, it really is not functioning in error. I think because of the combination of requests and maybe not understanding it is what caused or generated maybe this little snafu. Good news, I think what she explained to me was several of them were tenants and she could still collect that. The other one is still on there for January, so I'm not real sure. And I switched that back to pending because there is no payment made on that unless you guys had collected it in the interim while the system was altered. But the update didn't break any links. Everything actually was working fine. So what we need to do is get someone trained that understands the system, and then take a look, Takesha. I can send payment requests to the visitor. I can change the status of that payment. I can edit booking. But a lot of these are not necessary because there's automation here. That's the whole key. Change resource, duplicate the booking, print it, make a note. I can actually put notes in there. Change language. I can export it to Google Calendar. So there you go. Now there's an automated feature for that button, and we're going to turn it on, but I'm going to let it run for about 15-20 days, and we'll do it manually, send it to your calendar, the Sojo Investments calendar, and then you can decide to publish it or not depending on the situation. I can trash this booking, and of course it'll go into a pending trash mode, and to give us an opportunity not to kill it, right? Thought I said okay, what happened? There it is, and it'll show trash is basically pending in trash. When I either refresh the screen or log out, it'll actually dump that off, right? So I'll mark both of those off. This last button was you can force an approval without payment, right? You can force it back to pending. Doesn't matter if the payment's made. So when you start doing manual clicking, it couldn't mess you up because it was automatically set up for forced payment, right? So I'll trash this one for you. So the switch of food or no food is last to complete. Currently right now you're set up, but doesn't matter that the booking shows in here as pending. It's not confirmed without payment. So if you get multiple in several days, then no one's making payment. It's clear as day, as you guys saw. It takes them here. Of question is, do we need to take this to a Pay Now button instead of a PayPal looking button? Because we can make that anything and it still takes them to PayPal. Doesn't matter, it's just the queue. Receipt is issued upon payment clearing. So there's, if the payment gets declined, it'll stay in pending status and it'll show over here. It'll show in this payment status, which is one of the categories, right? Failed is what it'll say. So you might even have a case of fraud. Now, this is going to pop up as an issue if you keep trying to test it over and over again without being in the admin panel. Because it's private information and taking payments, it's a little bit hypersensitive versus just a form for my name and address, give me a call, I need some help, right? So be mindful of that. If you're going to go run a whole bunch of tests, that'd be preferred if you don't. All right, so there's your update. I'll have the button for food or no food converted. All the text, content, and misspelled word at 1 has been corrected. The payments reset to its original defaults. No approval unless payment's completed. Okay, and then we'll automate to the calendar after we let it run a little bit. Make sure. So don't be afraid to run traffic to it. Don't be afraid to ask and collect for payment. All you have to simply say is your payment failed to process or it did not complete, right? And all they have to do is check their credit card or their card source to confirm that. So there's no harm and foul in this. Things happen. I've booked hotels where I showed up and my reservation wasn't confirmed because payment didn't go through. Systems burp all the time, way bigger than us, so it's not anything to be nervous about. Just proceed optimistically and proceed with confidence, Thank you so much. I will schedule training just as soon as you guys are ready and we'll come out and knock this out. But right now the system's set right. Thank you.